Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter and hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me? And no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I am friends with the IRS.
If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out a lot. Now, let's jump back into the video. We've got a wild and entertaining court hearing to check out today. The woman in the top left corner of the screen is in court for failing to pay around $2,000 in court fees. Her entire defense? She claims she's not a citizen and that she only answers to God's law, despite having been caught shoplifting and doing all sorts of other bizarre things. This hearing is honestly pretty hilarious. The judge in this case keeps a calm but no-nonsense attitude, and it's entertaining to watch him respond to her outlandish claims. Eventually, he hands down a fairly firm sentence, which, let's be honest, she kind of earned, given how out of touch she seems. Big shout out to court nerds for the original video. I'll be jumping in here and there with my thoughts, but for now, let's dive into this hearing and see how it all goes down.
We're asking that Ms. Lott is incarcerated until the $2,755.40 is paid, Your Honor. And Your Honor, I am asking for attorney fees for today, Your Honor, and even me having to file this motion and continue to, I guess, seek attorney fees from Ms. Lott, Your Honor.
What are you asking for today?
Your Honor, for today, Your Honor, I'm asking for $1,500, Your Honor. And I can provide my affidavit to the court, Your Honor. We had to communicate with the court, Your Honor. I've been practicing law since 2008, Your Honor. I've been in good standing since that time. Your Honor, I charged my client a flat fee of the $1,500 just to try to see, just so we can file this motion for incarceration.
All right, Ms. Lott, raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to present in the matter and hearing should be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
Your Honor, are you judging me?
If you want to call it that, but I assume you want to testify on your own behalf.
Yes, I do. And if the attorney is not going to be sworn in, that is a conflict of interest. And I have filed motions. I filed a quo warranto because I have searched for law licenses and I have not found any. There's been no true judges since 1789. And the United States filed a Chapter 11 in 1933, which lost their sovereignty as a government. So I can't even be heard here. I have asked the court to provide me documentation stating that this is an Article 3 court. I have not gotten anything back from the judge with any type of documentation from the Attorney General, from the Secretary of State. You guys have not had permission to try me, and no law is above God's law. So I cannot honor any of your laws. It supersedes every single law that you guys have given me. I have tried to settle this in court. I have filed a fiduciary relationship, 56. I am friends with the IRS. I have attempted to settle with a $20 money order because there is no money with the court, and everything was sent back. So rejection of payment is payment, Your Honor. And my religion strongly prohibits any satanic laws or rituals, and I cannot serve two masters. So either I don't even know what to do here in this matter, because I have asked to be tried in an Article 3 court. This is not a court of equity. God's law trumps all laws made by man. God also says no man should be judged, or you will be judged. This is my religion. I have not broken any of God's laws. I have not committed any crimes. I have not harmed my offspring. I am the first lien holder on my child's estate. So there is nothing that I can do for Miss LaFleur, and I will not be paying it because my God told me not to. He gave me the instructions on what to do, and you guys refused it. You guys refused my quo warranto because it wasn't written in the way that you accept it, but I am not under your laws. I am friends with the IRS. I have sent out my documentation. I have my own contract with myself. I don't have a contract with you guys. I have not signed anything, and I am not a 14th Amendment corporate war citizen. I am a natural person. That is what I have to say.
You have any questions for Ms. Lott, Ms. St. Fleur?
Yes, Ms. Lott, were you present in court for the petition for a legitimation with Tariq Crump?
Ms. LaFleur, can you provide me your...
It's St. Fleur. It's St. Fleur. It's not Little Fleur. If we're gonna quote all of these articles, make sure you get my name right. It's St. Fleur.
St. Fleur.
It's St. Fleur. Well, just were you in court? I mean, I'm not sure if any of the articles could tell me, but were you in court?
Questions. I have no further answers for any of your questions. I said what I said. This law does not trump God's law. I'm under God's law, and that's it.
Well,
She honestly said a whole lot of nothing there. I don't know how the judge kept a straight face through all of that. Maybe it's just because it's older and has seen it all before, or maybe she's just that out there. Either way, she's clearly delusional. Now, I get the whole sovereign citizen argument to an extent. I understand that some people don't want to be controlled by the government. Nobody really wants to be. But once you start actively breaking the law, like shoplifting, and then refuse to take any responsibility, your argument pretty much falls apart. You can't just opt out of the system after you've committed the crime. Whether it's jail time or court fees, consequences are going to follow. If she were being falsely accused or framed, maybe I'd understand trying to challenge the system. But she's clearly guilty here, and her entire defense is just nonsense. I genuinely can't tell if she's actually mentally unstable or just putting on an act. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is she faking it, or is she really this far gone? Personally, she seems genuinely unhinged. And honestly, based on what we've seen in the Zoom hearing alone, she probably needs to be evaluated or even locked up. Her mindset is just unreal. What really gets me is how calm the judge stays. It's kind of hilarious, but it also shows how common this kind of behavior has become. Between social media influence, victim complexes, and people thinking they can just rewrite reality, this is where we are now. Now, I'm not saying I'm all pro-government or anything like that, but if you commit a crime, you've got to take responsibility. This girl is way past that point. She's in her own world. Anyway, let's jump into the second half of the clip, where the judge finally has enough and hits her with a pretty serious sentence. You don't want to miss this.
saying you had 10 days to pay this $2,755.40. Do you have any proof that any payment was made?
I have the proof here, and this was sent back to me. This is the money order that I sent to the court.
That's
Your
that
law-
$20 thing you said?
Yes, it is. That is the settlement that is written in your laws. I did send the thing. They sent it back, and refusal of payment is payment. So I will handle it with the IRS from here.
Well, $20 doesn't equal $2,755.40.
Or any court fees cannot supersede to $20, and that is what I paid as a natural person. I don't know about any U.S. citizen. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm a natural person and a private American. I've not committed any crimes under God's law. I have not stolen. I have not buried false witnesses. I have not killed anyone. I have not dishonored my mother and my father, and I have not put any man before God, and I will not put any of you guys before God either.
Fine. All right, Ms. Lott, I'm going to find you in contempt of court for failure to pay the $2,755.40. Order you incarcerated, that is jailed, until you've paid the money.
I will be taking it up with the IRS, and I will be filing liens because you guys do not have liens over myself, my estate, or my child. So
You'll take it up with the sheriff first.
no, I will not, because the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction.
Turn
No.
yourself in, or the sheriff will come out and arrest you.
Jurisdiction over me, and the sheriff does not have any jurisdiction over
That's
me.
fine. Once you're released, I'll give you 90 days to pay an additional $1,500 for attorney's fees incurred by the plaintiff for today's proceeding. And I'll ask Ms. St. Fleur to submit the order.
Will do, Your Honor.
And include in that, the sheriff will notify the court when Ms. Lott has been arrested.
Can you guys provide me with evidence that you are Article 3 court and not a military court?
And
Some-
we'll send you a copy of the order.
I seriously don't understand what her game plan was here. She walks into court, acts like she's crazy, and expects the judge to just let it all slide? Come on. Honestly, this is exactly what I'd expect from someone totally out of touch with reality. She got 6 months for refusing to pay $2,000 in court fees she racked up after shoplifting or whatever else she did. And to be honest, I think that sentence was completely deserved. This is a textbook example of someone playing the victim and leaning hard into the I'm above the law mindset. It's wild how common this kind of behavior is nowadays. I don't know what you all think, but it really seems like more and more people are riding this victim mentality wave, and riding it hard. Now, credit where it's due, the judge handled this like an absolute pro. Calm, collected, and completely unfazed. It was like just another day at the office for him. He barely said a word during her rant and then dropped the hammer right at the end. No drama. No nonsense. Just facts. Honestly, we need more people like this judge, not just in court, but in everyday life. Way too many people let emotions take over, and this guy just stuck to the truth. She could have had someone represent her, maybe work out a deal. But no, she chose to go full sovereign citizen, act delusional, and it totally backfired. If she had just been a little more reasonable and used even a shred of common sense, she probably could have walked away with just a heavier fine. But nope, jail time it is. And look, I know it sounds harsh, but sometimes jail is what it takes to snap people out of this kind of arrogant, narcissistic attitude. I'm not sure if it'll work on her though. She seems like the type who truly believes she's above everyone else, like some kind of untouchable figure. Totally disconnected from reality. Anyway, the takeaway here is simple. If you stay out of trouble, you don't have to pretend to be crazy. People like this, and I'm speaking in general here, just can't admit when they are wrong. Instead of owning up to their mistakes, they create this wild fantasy where they are the victim and everyone else is against them. And let me just say, that is complete BS. Most of the time, you're not a victim. You're just avoiding responsibility. That wraps up my breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and tell me what you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care.